Hello, beautiful people. It's Rachel here, and in this video, I want to talk about the benefits of breathing through the nose, and I'm going to talk about one of the tips and tricks for breathing through the nose more often, and that is called mouth taping. So we're going to talk about that as well in this video. So I just finished reading the book called Breath by James Nestor, and it is one of the best books I've ever read. Highly, highly recommend that you check it out if you're interested at all in breath work and living a healthier lifestyle. This book was great because it was filled with lots of different breathing techniques, experiments that he put himself under, and scientific information from doctors and researchers and anthropologists. But it also contained a lot of anecdotal information, stories, facts about history, about the human race and evolution. So it was a really interesting, thought-provoking read, and I highly recommend it. One of the most important insights from this book is the importance of breathing through the nose. So as human beings, we have the ability to breathe through our nose and through our mouth. And this is awesome because this is basically evolution giving us an extra chance of survival. If we can't breathe through the nose, we can breathe through the mouth. If we can't breathe through the mouth, we can breathe through the nose. Wonderful. However, these are not equal. They're not equal when it comes to breathing. It is ideal to breathe through the nose as much as possible. So here are a few reasons. Number one, your nose has its own natural filtration system. There are hairs inside our nose, and those act as the filtration, the purification system for the air. So as air passes through our nose, the toxins, dust, dander get caught in the nose and don't actually make it into our lungs. And this is helping us to breathe cleaner, more purified air. If we breathe through the mouth, it's pure, harsh air coming through the mouth all day long into the body. Also, breathing through the mouth is very drying on the mouth. It creates dry mouth, creates worse breath, tasting breath and smelling breath when we breathe through our mouth. So again, that's another benefit to nose breathing. When it comes to sleep, it's very important to breathe through your nose as much as possible. It has been proven that insomnia, snoring, and also sleep apnea are directly associated to breathing from the mouth. So if you're someone who suffers from trouble sleeping, trouble getting to sleep, staying asleep, insomnia, if you snore, or if you've ever experienced sleep apnea. Now, sleep apnea is when we literally choke on ourselves. That is what sleep apnea is. We choke on ourselves and we stop breathing for a moment until our carbon dioxide levels have increased so much that our body naturally forces us to breathe again. But this can be very dangerous. This can be and also not very soothing for a soothing, peaceful night's sleep. In the book, James Nestor put himself through an experiment of 10 days breathing through the mouth only. So they closed up the nose. And after that, they switched to taping the mouth and breathing through the nose. The first 10 days of mouth breathing, they experienced 10 times more snoring, 10 times more sleep apnea events. They had to pee a lot more throughout the night, trouble falling asleep, body pain, headaches, all of these issues that are associated with mouth breathing. Breathing through the nose in the next 10 days of the experiment, everything dropped. The amount of snoring, the amount of sleep apnea cases came to almost zero. No more waking up in the middle of the night to have to pee. Sleeping through the night fully, feeling more rested in the morning. These are all wonderful benefits to breathing through the nose. Another benefit has to do with how fast we breathe. When we breathe through our nose, we can slow down our breath rate. We can breathe in more slowly. We can breathe out more slowly. And especially an emphasis on breathing out fully, full exhales as well. So when we breathe quickly, we put ourselves into the stress response. When we breathe quickly, our heart rate increases. This switches on the amygdala in our brain, which is the little switch that tells us if we're in the stress response or the relaxed response. So when we breathe quickly, which is often the case for mouth breathing, we, if you think about panting, a dog panting through the mouth. Now I imagine you're probably not walking around panting, but still when we breathe through the mouths, we create a more stressful environment. We often increase our heart rates, turn on our amygdala, and switch into the flight or fight response. This means that we are moving through our day full of stress, full of triggers, full of anxiety. Not a great place to live your life. Now, when we breathe through our noses, we naturally are able to breathe more slowly and deeply, and we can slow our heart rate down, turning off the amygdala, switching us back into rest and digest mode, which is a calm and peaceful state. From rest and digest mode, we are able to think clearer, more creatively. We're able to see multiple perspectives, which can help us if we're ever having a difficult conversation with someone. It helps us to stay calm. The rest and digest mode helps us to digest our food more easily. It helps us it turns on our sex organs for reproduction. All of these benefits come from living in a peaceful place, which is directly related as well to breathing through the nose. And one more thing I'll add is that the book touches a lot about how through the past hundreds, thousands of years of evolution, because we have started, there's a few factors involved, but basically our facial structures have started to become more narrow and tall. Our nose cavities have gotten smaller. And part of this is to do with breathing from our mouths more often, and also poorer posture, and it has a lot to do with the food we're eating. We're eating a lot of soft food these days, processed food. Whereas our ancestors, our great ancestors, were chewing up to 2 to 3 hours a day, hard food that needed to be broken down by chewing. As we chew, we strengthen our jaw muscles. We actually extend and widen our facial structures, which creates a bigger space for our teeth, and it opens up our nasal passageways. So, it has been believed that once you reach a certain age, there is nothing we can do to shift our bone structure. The only way we can deal with severely, chronically congested nasal passageways is surgery. But it has now been discovered, and this book touches a lot about this, that we can, it doesn't matter if we're 10 years old, 30 years old, 70 years old, with a few lifestyle shifts, we can actually shift our bone structure and reopen our nasal passageways naturally. That is by chewing more, so finding harder, more natural foods that take more chewing to break down. Chewing gum can help as well. They even sell little devices these days that you can put in your mouth and just chew that help to strengthen the jaw. We can also breathe from our nose and improve our posture. Straighter, taller posture can help as well. So when it comes to breathing from the nose or the mouth, one important thing to note is that if you don't use it, you lose it. The more that we breathe through our nose, the more our body realizes that we need our nose, and it starts to open up naturally. So the more that we breathe through our nose, the more we can breathe through our nose. On the other hand, the more you breathe through the mouth, your nose starts to think you don't need it. So it starts to close up. It starts to not even be able to breathe through it. The less you use it, the less you can use it. But this can be reversed, and that is through continued practice of breathing through the nose. So one of the greatest tips I've learned to help with this is mouth taping. So I do this at night. Every night for the past few weeks, I've been taping my mouth closed with just a piece of tape that goes from here to here. It actually, you can still kind of talk, you can still kind of breathe through the sides of your mouth if you need to, but it's kind of, it just makes you naturally breathe through your nose. So when you do this at night, it helps reduce the amount of chances that you have to wake up and pee. It's gonna help reduce bad breath, and it's gonna help open up your nasal passageways more and more. Because if we don't breathe through our nose is gonna, it's very often that we'll get nasal congestion, sinus infections, sinus headaches, and all those bad, uncomfortable things that are associated with congestion and not being able to breathe through the nose. So if you have already the ability to breathe through your nose, I would encourage that you start taping your mouth at night. I'm using this medical tape, which is really nice because it rips very easily and it rips perfectly straight. So I don't need to have scissors or anything next to my bed. I just keep this and put the top bit there. There you go. And I guess I can still talk if I need to, but that's how you do it. And it's pretty soft tape, so it doesn't really hurt to rip it off. I find that in the morning, I sometimes have a little bit of stickiness above my lips. Not a big deal. There might be other tapes that work better for you, so feel free to experiment. I've tried electrical tape and masking tape, but I find that this is the best so far for me. So I would say I would very much encourage you to try that. However, if you have a very congested nose already, I would invite you to try it out in the daytime. Maybe don't try your first mouth taping at night. So I would invite you to just try it for 5 minutes. See if you can do it for 5 minutes. See what experience you go through. If you can't do it for 5 minutes, keep trying. A little bit every day. Remember, the more you use it, the more you can use it. There was a woman in the book Breath. Her story was that she had been congested for years, unable to breathe through her nose for years. The doctor said the only way to fix it was through reconstructive surgery, but she wanted to try on her own to fix it naturally. So she tried mouth taping. She said the first night she couldn't even do 5 minutes, but she kept going. Eventually it was up to 10 minutes. Was eventually up to an hour, and then eventually was sleeping through the night and had reopened her nasal passageways, had healed her nasal passageways, all through mouth taping. So I highly recommend that you try this out. If you've already tried it out, or if you do try it out, please let us know how it goes for you. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about your experience, any benefits you experienced, any difficulties, maybe any difficulties that you've been able to overcome. Let us know if your snoring has decreased, anything like that. I'd love to hear your own experiences. But wherever you're at, I invite you to keep trying as much as you can to breathe from the nose and to switch into this slower, deeper, more purified way of breathing. So that's all for this video. I hope you found this helpful, enjoyable. If you did, please feel free to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos about breathwork, mindfulness, and healthy living. And I hope to see you all soon. Much love. Also, if you are interested in learning more about breathwork and how to shift your life through the breath, please consider joining our new Breathe and Be community. Inside the community, we learn a new breathing technique every month, and we practice that modality together to the point that we can do it on our own throughout our day. And we also have one rebirthing breathwork journey every month as well. Many opportunities to connect with other community members, to practice breathwork, as well as tons of extra resources, videos, meditations, workbooks, journal prompts, so much stuff to help you lead a healthier, happier life through the breath. So if you are interested in joining the Breathe and Be community, you can follow the link in the comments below or go to www.breatheandbecommunity.com. I hope to see you there or in another video on this channel soon. Take care. Much love. Mwah.